In this video I'm going to show you the quickest and easiest way to get this radiator tail rail off the wall in order to decorate. Welcome to JBTV. Hey, what's up guys? Yes, it's your main man JB. In this video I'm decorating this bathroom. I've got lots of holes to fill, I've got the ceiling to do, the wall to do, I've got sealant around the bath and around this bath panel as well. That's all got to come out. I've got to fill these holes in the wall here, and obviously I'm going to be painting the walls. And the last thing I want to do is be getting a paintbrush behind there and trying to paint that and cut around these brackets and what have you. And actually this radiator either needs cleaning up or replacing, so it's definitely coming off. I really want to get it off. So what I'm going to show you in this video is the quickest and easiest way to get this off the wall so you can prepare the walls, get it all painted and then get it back on again. So one of the first jobs we need to do is to take these caps off these brackets so we can expose the screw. You'll notice this one has got one missing, and this is actually the loose one, so I'm going to have to replace that. Then what we'll do is just loosen these screws. I'm going to leave it on for now, just in case the radiator drops a bit, and that will still catch it. Obviously that hasn't got one, and this one has, so we just loosened that one up as well. We'll be able to actually just loosen that with our fingers when it's time to move the radiator. So that's all loose now. These are the radiator valves, so what we want to do, if they're not already, make sure they're completely shut off. Just like that, so that'll stop any water coming from this pipe and getting past this valve. For this next bit, you're going to need either a large adjustable spanner or some vice grip pliers. Grab yourself a towel, just put that down around near this pipe here, and then also grab yourself a bucket, a washing up bowl, a scuttle. I'm going to use a scuttle, and we'll just put that close to the pipe as well. And what I'm going to do next is just loosen this side just a little bit, just a fraction. And actually that's already quite loose. That's not very cool, but that's alright. So that's already slightly loose, but it's not leaking. And then what we'll do here, and that's also loose. Oh, I didn't actually need this, but in most cases you will. So that's very surprising, the fact that they weren't tight. Now this one is starting to leak water, so I need to get on with the job. That one's slightly loose, that one's ready to be loosened. What I'm going to do now is just support the radiator and take these screws out. Just grab the pliers. It's starting to leak now, and unscrew that quickly, and then we'll just turn the radiator and that can start dripping out. Now these do hold quite a lot of water, so you might be waiting a little while. And then if you just loosen the screw on the top, the air release valve, that's right, that was just the bracket that wasn't fixed to the wall properly. And you should be able to hear the hissing. Where I've released that valve, it's allowing the air in, which in turn is allowing the water to drain out a lot quicker and clearer. So it was a little bit difficult to show you whilst I was doing it, but this is the screw that I undid, the valve which lets in a little bit of air, so we need to make sure that's closed off when the radiator goes back on. So now most of that water is out, I'm just going to release this on here now. There we go, and then we can just tilt that. I've literally got all that out. And there we go, that radiator is now empty. So quite a lot of water there, but you will notice it is actually very clean. Look, if I put my finger in there, you can see how clean it is. Now this radiator has only been on for a few years, I believe, so and it's a pretty new central heating system, so that's pretty good. I'm quite happy that the inside of that's not all black, which it normally would be. But what I'll just do here, I'm just going to soak a little bit of water out of the top of that valve there. Like I say, be a little bit careful with these legs. They will, depending on what kind of fixings you got, they will move slightly, as you can see here as well. And then to get these brackets off, we just need to undo this little retaining screw here, and in theory that comes out, and then we have another screw to undo inside here. So a screwdriver in there, and boom. So there we go, we've got all these pieces off now. So that's that one off, that one's off, made a nice big hole in the wall, and I've just got to get that one off. I think what I'm going to do is get some new fixings for when the radiator goes back on, and then I shall put two at the bottom here. I shall put two at the top again, but I'll put them on the next rail up, because although I will fill these, I don't really want to fill it and then put another plasterboard fixing back into where it was filled, so we'll go up another notch. So right, I'm going to get decorating, and then we can get the radiator back on. So the wall has been painted, the woodwork has been painted, I've got my new brackets, I've just fixed them to the wall, they're nice and secure. They're a little bit loose here at the moment because I've only just basically tightened them slightly with the screw that you get underneath here, so I will tighten those up once I know that they're exactly in the right place. So what we've got to do now is get this thing back on. I've given it a little bit of a clean, it's all nice and shiny now. So yeah, let's give it a go. So I've got the other part to the bracket here, which will go onto the bracket like so, and then we've got bolt in there. So we'll end up with that on the face there, but that should be secure. And then I've got some end caps to put on there. So let's give this a go, and basically we're just going to drop this, well, not drop it, don't drop it, JB. Oh, that is lovely. So it would be really helpful if you had two people at this point, but unfortunately I haven't, so I'm going to have to do it myself. So I'm just going to get these two in loosely to begin with. I have to check out whether I put the holes in exactly the right position. I can let that go now because that's supported on the top. And yeah, that looks good. That just needs to go up very slightly like so. We'll get these bottom two in. So with that temporarily in place, what you'll notice here is the leg there of the pipe is kind of a little bit prouder of the wall than the radiator. But luckily these brackets, you can adjust this screw just here, and that will allow you to actually pull this section out slightly. So we just need to adjust that now. So with all these pulled out slightly, you can see it's been pulled out that much there. That means that this is now all in line here. There is a little bit of movement on the pipe, but what I can do is get these tightened up now. So with that all in position now, I'll just do this up a bit more, and we'll get this one started as well. So I've tightened up these retaining screws here, and I've just tightened up the bolts here as well, so everything really is nice and solid compared to what it was like the first time. Then we can put the 4 cups on. So everything's done and fixed and fitted now, everything's tightened up. So next thing I'm going to do is get the central heating turned on. With the central heating on, that will get the pump working and the water flowing to all the radiators in the house. Now obviously these are still locked off, so I'm going to open these up now, checking for any leaks. No leaks. So this is where we now need to bleed the radiator because there's lots of air in there. So we'll just undo this valve and you'll hear the air coming out now as the water starts to come up through the radiator. So there you go guys, central heating on. I'm going to turn it off in a minute, it's not that cold. But no leaks or anything, nicely secured to the wall, back in place, sorted. That's how you take off and replace a radiator or a radiator towel, whatever you want to call it. Well, that's it from me guys, don't forget to subscribe, and if you've got any helpful hints or comments, stick those in the box below, and I'll see you lot on the next video.